I want you to imagine this. You put in hours and hours of work into IELTS reading, taking every practice test you can find, and you end up getting a low score. This is what you're thinking. I've put in all of the work. I've done a lot of reading questions, and still, I don't have the results. Let me tell you one thing. You are focusing on the wrong things. In order to get 8 or 9 in IELTS reading, there are 5 ways to explode your IELTS reading score. I was also stuck at band 6 until I started implementing this one strategy. I've seen students who might follow 1 or 2 of these strategies, but you should follow all of these to get your desired score in IELTS reading. Let's start. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. The IELTS reading test can feel daunting. Long passages, challenging questions, and a ticking clock. It's enough to make anyone panic. And you think you're never gonna finish IELTS reading on time. But I've got it covered. Firstly, if you're solving questions and you're not sure about one question and you realize that you've spent over 2 minutes on that question, in that case, you have to move on and mark that question to come back at the end. And you can allocate specific amounts of time to each passage in questions. By the way, if you're taking the paper-based IELTS, you also have to transfer your answers in that 60-minute time frame. Second strategy. Alright, listen up. If you're aiming to skyrocket your IELTS reading score, you've gotta master one critical aspect. Imagine walking into the exam room with a clear game plan, knowing exactly how to tackle each question type with precision. Imagine the confidence, the calm, and the focus. First, you need to familiarize yourself with different question types. You're talking multiple choice, matching information, true, false, not given, and sentence completion. Each one has its own set of rules, its own traps, and its own tactics for success. But knowing them is not enough. You need to practice them until they become second nature. Now let's talk about the strategy. How do you develop strategies for each question type? How do you save time and increase accuracy? How do you ensure that when you see a question, you immediately know how to tackle it? This is where the magic happens. You need to break it down. Multiple choice, scan for keywords. Matching, identify key phrases. True, false, not given, know what's stated, implied, or absent. Sentence completion, predicts the word type based on context. It sounds a lot, right? But here's the thing. The more you practice, the more intuitive it becomes. You will start to see patterns. You will know how to look for, you will know what to look for, and will save a ton of time on the actual test. And that, my friend, is how you gain the upper hand. Understand different question types, master them, and strategize for them, and watch your score soar. Let's move on to the third strategy. Alright, here's the deal. Wanna explode your IELTS reading score? Let's talk about why most people never improve. They practice, sure, but keep making the same mistakes. But why? What if I told you there is a secret to breaking this cycle? Imagine spending hours practicing, but finding the same mistakes popping up. Frustrating, right? What if there is a way to turn those mistakes into your biggest strengths? The key isn't just practicing, it's reviewing and learning from your mistakes. Most people skip this step. Why? How can you avoid this step? After every practice session, Dig deep into your answers. Understand why you got certain questions wrong. Was it a misunderstanding? A careless mistake? Identify the root cause. But how do you transform this understanding into real improvements? So what's the tip? Review and learn from your mistakes. Understand your mistakes and fix them. Let's move on to the fourth strategy, which is a game-changing tip that most people overlook. It's the secret sauce to understanding tricky questions in passages. Ready for it? Ever get stuck on a question and lose precious time? It happens. What if you could solve it easily, knowing exactly what every word means? Imagine the confidence, the speed, the accuracy. The secret? Improve your vocabulary. Learn synonyms and antonyms because questions often paraphrase words from the text. But how do you make this stick, and where do you start? Expand your vocabulary, expand your word bank, recognize different ways questions can phrase the same idea. But how do you ensure you're learning the right words? It's so simple. Focus on high-frequency words and practice regularly. The more you know, the quicker you will understand and answer questions. Improving your vocabulary is going to be the best decision of your life. So learn those synonyms and vocabulary. Strategy number 5. Speed reading. Reading quicker can save you a huge time, and it will allow you to come back to questions you struggled and improve both your efficiency and accuracy. But how can you improve your reading speed? So I explained how you can easily boost your reading speed in the video you can see here.